Hello, welcome to Interview in Indies. I'm the host, Burr, where we interview indie developers. And today I'm joined by CEO of Hungry Couch Games, Konstantin.
Hello, guys.
Thank you for taking the time to join us today. There's a lot to talk about with you. So, I guess first and foremost, how did you get into game development?
Uh, it's a long story, but
That's
I
fine
make
with
it
me.
short. Yeah, and thank you for calling me for uh, this. I was working as a UI designer, UI UX designer in one company, and I was working on one website, and then on the design of the app. And while I was working on this company, I was making my own game. I always like making games, but I never tried it by myself. So, like in the childhood, I love to make the games on paper, and I have two brothers, and I forced them uh, to play my games. I don't know if I can say forced. Yeah, they wanted to play my games, so yeah, there was some strange games on the paper, and the big barrier for me was the programming part because it's not simple, and yeah, uh, one day I just decided I want to program games. I need to educate myself in programming, so I started with a game maker engine. It was I think easy, probably if you compare to C Sharp and C++. GameMaker language is easy. It's more like Java, I think. I don't know any languages besides GameMaker. So yeah, and when I started to learning the programming, I started to making my first attempts making games. And when I was working in this company as a designer, I started my first serious project. It was Black Skylands, the game about it's top-down shooter when you can shoot and run on your legs, and you can seamlessly uh, ride some sheep, your sheep, uh, uh, and flow between the floating islands. So it's like an open world game. Uh, yeah, it's the first mistake of every game developer, not to make
Not to make
too
an open
big, too
world game.
complex. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I was making the open world game. So I was working on Black Scans for I think 1 year, and I wasn't looking for um, publisher or investments or something. I was doing it by myself for myself. So one day I will release it, and maybe it will be interesting for someone, maybe not. And one day I was posting the important detail. I was posting all my process in social media, and one day Tiny Bill producer texted me in one social network, and he saw my post. He liked the how my game looks. He asked for a demo or some prototype, and I said, of course, yes. I sent him prototype. He liked it, and he proposed to discuss. Maybe I want to publish the game with Tiny Bill.
Oh,
Yeah, and it was when I was on the work in office. Yeah, and I remember this moment. I'm reading. I was on the meeting. It was stand up or something, and, and I stand up. just stood up. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. And no one was understanding why I'm so happy.
No one knew why you were so happy, but I was gonna ask, how did you get to Tiny Build? But it's just you had your game demo out there for Black Skylands, and they just reached out to you.
Yeah, yeah. This really, really rare situation when a publisher uh, saw your videos of your process of game development and hears you out. Yeah, I'm the lucky
Yeah,
man.
that is very lucky because I hear a lot of people pitch a lot of games to a lot of publishers and they never get any luck. So that answers that
Yeah.
question right away. That's pretty incredible. But currently, you are the CEO of Hungry Couch Games. So that happened after you already became published by Tiny Build.
So yeah, when he reached me out, so we discussed everything, and we decided to like open the small studio of game development. We're developing Black Skylands, publish it with Tiny Build, and maybe then we will publish more games with Tiny Build, so on. So yeah, we discussed some budget to open the studio, rent the office, find some employee. So yeah, we started in 2019, I think. Uh, there was a five employee at the beginning, and then we slowly was growing to 16 people in
Oh.
2023, I think. So yeah, and all this time we were working on Black Skylands.
Yeah, so you had a small team at first, and when Black Skylands fully released, which was August 15th of 2023, just last year, you had a whole team of like 16 people working on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's pretty impressive. And now you're obviously developing Drill Core, which comes into early access on September 12th. But with Drill Core being the main focus, after Black Skylands released, how many developers like were focused on Black Skylands for like bugs and updates? And how many people were focused on Drill Core if you had the idea already in mind?
So I need to tell about one moment in the studio history. So yeah, when Black Skylands released, then there was hard times, when maybe you remember it's still going. So studios are closing,
Oh,
or
yeah.
they
Every week, it seems
uh,
like.
yeah, they fire an employee and so on. So at one moment, again, I'm not sure I can tell every detail. So
No
uh,
worries.
we had to fire almost all the team, and now there are only four
Oh, man.
employees. Yeah, and we are making Drillcore on GameMaker because Black Skylines was on Unity, and now we're working on GameMaker because I know GameMaker really well. I can program in GameMaker. And yeah, we decided to move to the GameMaker, and one of the reasons was because Drillcore prototype was made by me. I was making it by myself, so I can tell about the process when we were looking for the next project, if it's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a moment like we know that Black Skylines will release in like 3 months, and we need uh, to think about what do we need to do next. So about next our game, and I decided so we can uh, split into different teams, like 16 people. We split it in three small teams, and every team was making their prototype of the next game. Yeah, and in my team I was alone, uh, and two more teams. So yeah, we did three prototypes. We sent it to publish it in a build. They watched it, producers, technical CEO. They watched every prototype. They give us feedback, and drill core. Uh, everyone was everyone was like drill core, so we decided to move on with drill core.
Oh, I definitely love Drillcore. I only got to play a demo of it during a Steam Next Fest, but that game, I was addicted to that one immediately.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, I love to play drill core as well. I need to play drill core because I'm developing, so I
Yeah,
need to
yeah, you
play
got to
it a
do
lot.
everything with it.
There's a balance in it. Yeah,
So,
but I still love it. So
so you started Drillcore by yourself while everyone else was doing their own prototypes and finishing up Black Skylands. You started the idea first.
yeah. Before that, there was another prototypes. Like 1 year ago, I was working on more than 2 years ago. I was working on another prototype. It was side scroller with the stealth. I really like the concept. I made a prototype. I really like it, but no one was so
No one else was on board with
interested.
that one. A stealth
Yeah,
side
yeah,
scrolling game. I mean,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
after
So
Drillcore releases, but you're releasing Drillcore in the early access, so there's probably going to be a lot of content to worry about that to add to it constantly.
yeah, and so I was talking about. Yeah, I don't know why, but I don't know how to say it. So, Drill Core prototype was made in like 3 weeks.
Three
It's
weeks.
really, yeah, it's really fast. I don't know if it's my superpower or everyone can do that, but in Unity, it's it makes much more time. I don't know why. Probably because C Sharp is mm, much more complex than GameMaker language. But yeah, this was a really good point for a publisher when they see that we can do a game like in 2 times faster than on Unity, and yeah, why not? Why not try and making games on GameMaker? And uh, they tell me that, so I can decide if we go on with the Unity or GameMaker. And yeah, I've decided let's try GameMaker. Why not? Because GameMaker is now it's a really good engine. You can develop game for every platform. Uh, yeah, I think GameMaker is really good, and we develop on GameMaker really fast.
Did
If we
everyone on
compare
your
to Unity.
team know how to use Game Maker when you started Drillcore? Because you said you made Black Skylands in Unity. I imagine it wasn't too much of a difference, right?
Uh, about GameMaker, we decided after we dismissed almost all studio. Yeah, that was one of the reasons because why we switched to GameMaker, because yeah, uh, time to learn GameMaker for programmers who program on C Sharp. It's probably yeah too
Yeah,
much, and they don't really want it because GameMaker, yeah, it's like when you're a programmer in C Sharp and then switch to GameMaker. It's not like a growth of you as a professional. It doesn't look sounds like that. So I don't think they was happy to do that. So yeah, it was uh, after the period we fired.
yeah.
Uh,
Now, I have one more question about Black Skylands before we can fully dive into Drillcore. And it's just a curiosity question that I've had. And it's that I've noticed you can buy it in a bundle with another game published by Tiny Build with Graveyard Keeper. I imagine those bundles, they're just made by the publisher and you don't really do you have a say in those.
yeah, that's true. So no, they reached out to the developer. So um, Gary Keeper is it's not it's published by Tiny Build, but Elizabeth Games not working with. I'm not gonna Yeah, I don't know everything about this. So, Dawnkeeper was not Dawnkeeper. Graveyard Keeper was developed by. It was published by Tiny Build.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just reach out the developers and they ask like, we want to make a bundle. Are you okay with that? So they are, yeah, no problem.
No,
Because
okay.
we're now making bundle with one more Tenville game. It's called The King is Watching. Pretty nice game. I love the concept of it. So yeah,
All right. I
just
always see those bundles, and it's just like, man, who makes these bundles? But just guess publishers do it, or maybe developers reach out to each other. But that's nice to know.
yeah. Yeah, usually if it's one publisher, so it's no problem. But if it's two separate publishers, they can still reach out to each other, and it's good for everyone. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, yes, share the game with multiple people. I know that's a good deal. I've been looking at it ever since I started doing the research on Black Skylands. Now, with Drillcore, it's going to be in early access, like we said. Do you feel the balancing could be hard to keep up with because you have so many buildings and turrets, and then the miners, the collectors, the gunners? Do you feel it'll be hard to keep up with everything feeling fair and not overpowered on different difficulties?
Yeah, the first thing when I made the prototype, I noticed that the balance will be the main, uh, not a problem, but the main focus, the most complex thing in the game. Because yeah, balancing this game is really hard. So I think we are doing pretty well, to be honest. Because yeah, I made a lot of adjustments. Uh, I'm not sure I can tell everything about that, but yeah, there was. It's more complex than it seems. So it's not. There are enemies at the night, and they're coming, and it's not made like every night. You're getting more and more.
Yeah.
Uh, there are some formulas, and yeah, we're watching different characteristics, different buildings. How much do you have maybe how much damage you deal and you receive. So yeah, the game balancing itself, I will say.
That definitely seems like the hardest thing to keep up with in a game like that is all that balancing. But then you're also having some roguelite elements in there with upgrades after a run. Was that an easier part of the process than you expected, or is that kind of like balancing where it's kind of hard to figure out what to upgrade and where and when?
No, I think it's not so. I would say from the start, I was imagining what the game at the end will look like. So it was always in my head, like these permanent upgrades, and yeah, we just mm, made it, and maybe it makes a little bit easier to balance the game because in roguelite game, if some difficulty is too hard for you, you can always like grind a little, so you can buy some upgrades that will make the game easier for you.
Yeah, people love their roguelites, that's for sure. But I've played a couple roguelites that are definitely similar to Drill Core, not obviously exactly the same. So I want to ask what type of inspirations were around for Drill Core, if any. I imagine some people have compared it to games like Dome Keeper or Wall World, which are both fantastic on their own. But did anything help inspire this game?
Yeah, sure. Dawnkeeper and Whole World are great games. I really love the concepts. But to be honest, yeah, I know that everyone comparing us with this game. But to be honest, it wasn't the main reference. It wasn't a reference at all. at some point it became some reference because size of blocks are inspired by these games, but the concept was inspired more by Kingdom, 2 Crowns, if you know this game series. I love the idea because after Black Skies, we decided that we need to make something not so complex, not with open world, something simple and addictive, so the player can play it 100 plus hours and enjoy it. So there will be it needs some systems that you can use not once. So roguelike game is perfect for this. And I was inspired more by games with indirect control, like I don't remember. It's all games. Dungeon Keeper, if you know.
I've
Uh,
heard of that one. I haven't
Techno.
played it though.
Yeah, it's an old game, but it's really unique in its that gameplay. So I think the main reference was the Kingdom because it's simple, it's addictive, and I really like the concept of the game. But yeah, Drillcore doesn't look like Kingdom at all. But there was a lot of concepts before the Drillcore. Uh, I can show you, and I'm not sure if I can show you. I can share my screen to show you.
Oh, that would be awesome to see. If you want, if there's anything you can share.
Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Because when I love some game, I really love to know the history of this game, how it was made, what was alpha look like, beta, and etc. So it was started like that. It was the very first concept was like that. So you have some platform, and this looks like Dome Keeper. So you're building turrets on
Yeah.
the top of the shaft, and there you build buildings on these platforms. So there was on the sides of the shaft, and there was in the very first idea there was no workers. There was uh, like drilling machine that you manipulating with so you are saying where to go, and then slowly it was evolving, and it was like that. Yeah, you were drilling with this thing, and you're with your workers you're drilling not down, you're drilling
To the
to
side, it
sides.
looks like.
Yeah, it's the first prototype. Yeah, and then slowly I came to this idea. My brother actually helped me with it a lot because we discussed with him, and he was helping with some ideas. Yeah, I'm helping him with his game too, his game development too. So
I
and
love
I can
seeing
show,
the evolution.
I can show the pitch that we were pitching to wait a second, to Tiny Build, because we're so we're working with Tiny Build. We're like more like a Tiny Build studio. We're not like separate thing, so we can't work with another publisher now. Drillcore,
Yeah, so you're
agriculture.
like in a contract with them for long term.
Yeah, yeah. So we still, if you want to develop a new game, we need to sell the idea to the publisher. So we need to still need to uh, what is the word? Uh, Make the concept and show it to the publisher. Uh, Wait a second, I want to show you some concept. I made the whole site for this.
I'm very excited for this game. Even just showing me the little concept stuff like this, it makes me even more excited because I personally loved Dome Keeper. Now, obviously, they're completely different games, but this game just hit perfectly for me.
So, yeah, I would love to play this game too, to be honest, if I wasn't a developer. Because yeah, it's simple and it can, like, you're enjoying, and you're there are not often I play the game and I forget about time. So Drillcore, one of these games. So this was our pitch. Yeah, this word. Our pitch to Tiny Build. It's closed, so no one can see it. So yeah, this was like the first concept of graphics. It was a little bit more darker. There was, I don't know, orcs or something. So there was a ladders. I wanted workers use the ladders, but then it was too complicated. So yeah, this one. There's references: Kingdom, Dawnkeeper, and Majesty. Yeah, this game with indirect control. Game features. It's like simple explanation of the core gameplay.
Oh, and then you have the roadmap right there. Did it say a full
Yeah, yeah.
release in 2025, or was that an early access 2025? Oh, 1.0 already. I'm excited to see that.
No, it's not true. But probably I don't know. It's for a publisher. It's not
Yeah,
the real.
you had to hype them up on it, sell them on it.
Yeah. It's very estimated. So yeah, but year release we did earlier.
Yeah, that's definitely early. It comes out at this is recorded on August 31st. Comes out September 12th. Oh my goodness.
There
That
was a
is a
prototype.
they look like little turtles. little mine the little collectors.
It was pretty simple, but the main idea was there, and uh, someone in our studio played this prototype for like 10 plus hours.
And Tiny Build was all for it when they saw this.
When they played this, because
Yeah, when they
yeah,
played it, yeah, they were all for it.
yeah, they played. They really like it, and they said, "Let's do this game." The Tiny Build CEO, Alex Nishporch, played this game, and he really liked it. So I think that's one of the reasons why we are developing this. As the Black Scans, he really liked the Black Scans.
Well, I appreciate you sharing
S-
that with me. It's really fun to see the history of a game because I obviously don't have any development history or any skills like that to program, even make art. But seeing the game evolve like that is just it's always so fun to me for me to see that type of stuff.
yeah, I really loved those stories too. I love the StarCraft first story, and they showed first alpha. It was looked like Warcraft in space, and then it was evolving.
Now, with the game coming out pretty soon into early access, I imagine Tiny Build will probably do all this, but what type of strategies are going to be there for marketing for a new game like this? Or is that just all Tiny Build's worry to do because they're the publishers?
Yeah, it's a publisher job, so I'm just like I know everything, almost everything, if I want to, so I can ask producer of the game uh, what we are doing for marketing. So, but yeah, I don't do anything in terms of marketing. So the main focus on the YouTubers, I think.
No,
We're sending,
those YouTubers definitely. Do you
yeah,
also
yeah,
agree
YouTubers.
that like content creators? I asked this to Ruby Dev and they agreed, but YouTubers and content creators are like the best friend for indie developers and all that?
For sure, 100%. Because what instruments do we have beside this? Because yeah, there's not more, not much.
I would ask before you got published, but you've been lucky to be published. If you weren't published with Tiny Build, let's just say you were making drill core with the small team that you have, what would be some marketing strategies that you would implement to get the game seen by as many people as possible?
I would reach out YouTubers
That's
because
it. That's all the YouTubers and
yes,
Twitter and
yes,
all
because
that.
I don't know. Yeah, what else I can do? Because
I mean,
yeah,
that's true. This just email YouTubers. That's all, that would be my best strategy as well.
yeah,
So
some posts on Reddit, Twitter, and etc. But it doesn't have that impact that YouTubers gave.
now I saw in Discord, the Drocore Discord, that if you have Black Skylands in your Steam library, you get like a moth named Luma as a carrier. Is
Yeah.
that a permanent addition for anyone who buys Black Skylands, or is it just like a? No, I guess yeah. Is it just a permanent thing? If say you buy Black Skylands after Drocore, do you still get the moth if you want it?
Yeah, you can buy Black Skylands in any moment, but I made this. There was no purpose to drill core players buying Black Skylands.
Yeah.
Rather, it is a pleasant surprise for those who have played it. So, if you don't want to play Black Skylands, then you definitely shouldn't buy it for the sake of Luma. So yeah, it's more like I love when games when developers publishers have references between their games, between their lore or something. So it's one of the references in one our game to another our game. So there are several references in the game, like one of our resources called Swarmlead, and this resource is from Black Skies.
Interesting. So I want to do another question that's related to Black Skylands and Drocore. We may have covered it a little bit, but you would say it's been easier to develop Drillcore because Black Skylands, you said, was open world, which is not an easy thing to do, I imagine. It's been easier to develop Drillcore compared to Black Skylands along since you changed the game maker and it's not open world and more roguelite and all that.
Yeah, Drukor is much easier to develop than Black Skies. Black Skies is a huge game, and yeah, we was working on it 5 years, and to be honest, it's not. Uh, we did a lot of job. We did, I think, a great game. I really love it, but yeah, there's a space for something more in Black Skylands. It can be better, but it became too expensive and doesn't give us such give feedback in terms of money. So we just can't afford it to continue developing Black Scouts.
Well, the game is also fully done, is it not? I mean, there hasn't been an update for a while, so, but it did release out of early access. But let's just say Drocore is the biggest success in the world, which I think it's the game I'm most excited for in September. Let me say that. Do you think any other dreams beyond Drillcore in terms of game making?
Sorry, I don't really understand that question. Can you repeat it?
Oh, just like a dream game that you would want to make if Drillcore
Oh,
was
I see.
like a major success.
No. Black Scouts was
Black
like
Skylands was
dream game.
that.
Yeah. Now I don't have. I have a lot of concepts. So about 20 on or yeah 20 25 concepts
Oh wow,
of
that's
the
a lot.
game. Some of them are easier, some of them are complex, but yeah, uh, I have I love the game development and making games. So yeah, when the time will come to develop new game, I think I hope we'll make
I mean, you
something
have
good.
20 to 25. I try to think of a single game. Maybe you have the developer brain and I don't. But I think I just like try to think of the concept of a video game and I just can't think of anything at all. But I guess you just have to pick some inspirations and build upon something with that.
Yeah, it's. I think it's when you're working as a game designer, um, you're thinking other terms, other way. So yeah, at the beginning you have a lot of ideas. You want to uh, implement everything in your game, but yeah, when you're making games, I don't know. I'm making games 5+ years, so I don't have this feeling like I want this, I want this, I want this. This concept is cool. I want to try it because I know that yeah, some concepts are good, some are bad, but I found this concept, so drill core. I'm making this, and I focusing on this.
100% focus on that
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
before even
I'm not.
diving into something else.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about other games. Yeah, it's like some stopper in my mind when I'm trying to think about games. I'm like, no, no, think about drill or
Yeah,
what you
make
can do in
Drillcore
drill
as
core.
good as it can be, have the perfect early access, update it regularly.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess that can lead to another question with early access. I saw that you had like a small roadmap for the publishers. It's obviously you need that, give them an idea. But do you already have like major updates planned in your head for Drillcore and what to add and potentially what to like nerf if something's too strong?
Yeah, sure. About nothing. Yeah, we will balance game during the early access. And yeah, I know players don't love balancing too much,
Yeah, I
especially
imagine
when
there's
we.
already been a lot. I've noticed that there's been a lot of demos and play tests for people that are like in Discord and whatnot. I imagine those have been very valuable, being able to get some feedback before releasing to the public.
Yeah, players really, really help with everything, with quality assistance. Like they're finding bugs that we can't find as developers, and uh, yeah, they talking about some balance things like this one is overpowered, this underpowered, and uh, because when you balance in the game, yeah, you're doing some Excel shits, but it's always in game. Excel not always works, I would say. So yeah, you need to test it always because there are a lot of different situations, different uh, approaches. So yeah, we're balancing in Excel, and then we're listening to our players.
And you guys were part of the Steam Next Fest back in June. I do think you were one of the most popular games on the Steam Next Fest. Do you feel like the amount of people that played it then was like the most valuable time? And do you feel like people wishlisting the game and all of that will have a major impact on their early access release?
I really hope so, but it's not my first game, so I know that it's not always works like that. So even if you have a lot of wish lists, because Black Skylines had a lot of wish lists, and yeah, I don't say that Black Skylines isn't a successful game, but the problem more that development of Black Skylines was uh, the cost was really big, and so That was a main problem, I think. So drill core not so expensive to develop because we're a team of five people. So yeah, but you never know. So I'm not like it's finished, it's successful, just wait for release. No, because
It's working time
everything,
always, just to make it the best.
yeah, players can like forget about it really fast, and or something else will release on this date on September, or something else, and yeah, everything. It could be anything. So
There is a lot of
I'm
games
hoping.
releasing in September. A lot of indie games. You're right between What the Car and Plucky Squire to me, because What the Car is the 9th, and then Plucky Squire is the 17th.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping for a good release, but who knows?
I firmly believe this will be a great release as someone who has played the demo with the Steam Next Fest, and I would highly recommend anyone to play the demo, especially if you're a Dome Keeper fan. You will have that feeling. But I think those are all the questions that I have. Thank you for coming on and sharing your insight with me and sharing the prototypes and just talking games.
Thank you.
Make sure if you are listening, make sure you guys follow Drillcore on Steam, wishlist it, buy it with the early access coming out September 12th, and follow them on Twitter and all that. Anything you want to end on, Cons?
Oh, try Black Scans and Joker.
Try Black Skylands and Drillcore. Buy their games. Wishlist them, buy them, gift them. They're a great time. Thank you for listening to the second episode of Interviewing Indies. And if you want to support the show on Patreon and get the episodes early, you can do that there. Thanks for watching, everyone.